There was a very stingy man named Johnny who lived in Moonland Village. He often wore clothes made from leaves, and everyone in the village knew about his stinginess. Even his wife was frustrated with him because of his tight-fistedness. One day, Johnny's wife's brother came to visit them. He was upset that his sister didn't come to his wedding. She explained,
"My husband Johnny is very stingy. He said that going to the wedding would mean buying new clothes, which would cost money."
Her brother was shocked that anyone could be so stingy and thought she might be making excuses for not attending the wedding. However, soon after, Johnny appeared wearing his leaf-made clothes and explained,
"If you wear clothes, they get dirty, and you have to buy soap to wash them. But if you wear clothes made of leaves, you can just wash them with plain water. While staying at home, one can wear clothes made of leaves."
In the evening, Johnny brought fish for his wife's brother and said,
"Today we will eat bread with fish."
His wife was relieved, thinking Johnny was finally showing some generosity. But as soon as she brought the bread, Johnny hung the fish from a string on the ceiling and started eating the bread while looking at the fish, saying,
"Wow, the fish looks delicious. Wow, it is so tasty."
After finishing the bread, he returned the fish to the shopkeeper. The villagers were fed up with Johnny's stinginess. One day, two friends, Mr. Moon and Joseph, decided to teach Johnny a lesson. Johnny was a goldsmith and sold jewelry, so Mr. Moon took an empty jewelry box and went to Johnny's house during dinner. Mr. Moon told Johnny that he had 2 tolas of family jewelry and asked how much they would be worth. Greed filled Johnny's heart as he thought about tricking Moon into selling the jewelry cheaply by claiming it was mixed with other metals. He thought, "I will feed Moon so he trusts me, then I will buy his jewelry cheaply." After dinner, when Johnny asked Moon to show the jewelry, Moon replied, "I don't have the jewelry right now. It will come in a few days." Johnny was furious and pushed Mr. Moon out of his house. Outside, their wives also started arguing and defending their husbands, calling each other stingy. Johnny angrily said,
"If you didn't have the jewelry, why did you eat my food? Now pay me for the meal."
But Mr. Moon refused to pay. The villagers gathered to see the commotion. When they learned that Johnny had fed Mr. Moon and then asked for payment, they shamed Johnny, saying, "You have become so stingy that you ask guests to pay for their meals." An old woman remarked,
"Johnny, there's a limit to shamelessness. Have some decency. You don't ask guests to pay for their meals."
Despite the humiliation, Johnny did not change his stingy ways. A few days later, Joseph noticed that Johnny went to church every day. The next day, Joseph followed Johnny to church and loudly prayed,
"God, please give me $100, but if it's even $1 less, I won't take it. I'll be upset and return the money to you."
At home, Johnny thought he would place $70 in Joseph's yard. Joseph would think God had placed the money there, add $30 himself to make it 100, and return it. Johnny went to Joseph's yard at night and dropped the bag with $70 over the wall. The next morning, Joseph found the bag but did not return it with $30 added. This made Johnny very angry. He went to Joseph's house and demanded his $70 back, claiming they weren't from God but from him. When Joseph refused, Johnny went to the village chief to complain. The chief listened and asked Johnny to bring Joseph. When Johnny told Joseph, he refused to go, saying,
"My clothes are too old. How can I go to the chief in these?"
Reluctantly, Johnny bought him new clothes. At the chief's place, Joseph said, "Chief, Johnny is lying. He accused me of stealing $70. Now he'll say the clothes I'm wearing are also his." Johnny quickly said,
"Yes, Chief, these clothes are mine. I bought them for him."
Joseph argued.
He's too stingy to buy anyone clothes. He wears clothes made of leaves himself.
Surprised, the chief called Johnny's neighbor as a witness, who confirmed that Johnny wore clothes made of leaves at home. The chief, thinking Johnny was mad, scolded him for making false accusations. Realizing how extreme his stinginess had become, Johnny decided to change his ways. After these events, Johnny tried to control his stinginess, but his habits were hard to break. One day, a mysterious traveler named Mr. Banderson came to the village with strange stories and rare treasures. Mr. Banderson announced a contest to find the most stingy person in the village, with a treasure as the prize. Johnny saw this as an easy way to earn money and decided to participate. Mr. Banderson was impressed by Johnny's stories about wearing clothes made of leaves to save on laundry and eating bread while looking at a fish. Mr. Banderson said, "Johnny, you truly are the king of stinginess, but tell me one more amazing story." Johnny smiled and shared.
"One day, I thought I could save money on bricks and cement by covering my house with leaves. I figured the rain would clean the leaves naturally."
This made everyone laugh, and Mr. Banderson awarded Johnny the prize, saying,
"Johnny, you have proven that there is no limit to stinginess. This treasure is yours, but you must use it to stop being stingy."
With the prize in hand, Johnny decided to change his ways. He told his wife Lisa,
"We will not be stingy anymore. I want us to start a new life."
Lisa was skeptical but happy when Johnny bought her new clothes. Johnny also planned to apologize to the villagers and invited everyone to his home for a feast. The villagers were surprised that Johnny, known for his stinginess, was now hosting a big feast. During the feast, Johnny shared his story and admitted his mistakes. He asked for forgiveness and pledged to change. The villagers appreciated Johnny's efforts and decided to give him a chance. Johnny used part of his prize to improve the village, repairing the school and buying books and toys for the children. Johnny organized a special day for the village children. He set up a big festival for them with various games, storytelling sessions, and gifts. Johnny told the children that love and friendship are the most important things in life. On this day, the children played games, enjoyed delicious food, and had fun listening to stories with Johnny. Johnny also created a small library for the children, where they could come and read different stories and books. He taught the children that reading books and listening to stories expands their minds and develops their creativity. Johnny's generosity and loving efforts made a special place in the children's hearts, and they all became his best friends. However, Johnny's real test came when a severe storm damaged his house. The leaf-covered walls could not withstand the storm, and Johnny realized he needed to rebuild with stronger materials. He asked his friends Moon and Joseph for help, and they gladly assisted him. Together, they rebuilt Johnny's house, and Johnny learned the value of friendship and support. After rebuilding, Johnny hosted another feast with good food and sweets. The villagers were happy to see Johnny had truly changed. He invited everyone with a sincere heart, and they all celebrated together. Johnny vowed to live a better life with his wife and the villagers, embracing generosity and kindness. His actions earned him respect and love from the villagers. Johnny realized that saving money is important, but extreme stinginess makes life difficult. He pledged to live a happy and prosperous life with his wife, friends, and villagers. Thus, Johnny left his stinginess behind and made a fresh start, teaching the villagers a lesson in generosity and love.